leg skin when he stretch your distance. I'm talking a few 100,000 yards. You just on your feet.
Hey, everybody, it's the coach. This is Madden Football on EA Sports. On deck, we've got what should be a great matchup between the Detroit Lions and the Green Bay Packers. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Okay, Coach, historic Lambeau Field. Fittingly, it butts up against Lombardi Avenue here in the heart of Green Bay, Wisconsin. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Detroit Lions and the Green Bay Packers. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, we look at this Packer team as we enter play here. They come in the midst of a pretty bad stretch here. Losers of 5 straight.
So many different reasons teams hit the losing skids, but the best way out of it, something has to happen positive early in the game.
Meanwhile, for the Lions here, they're halfway home, looking good, and a perfect 8-0.
And not much to complain about so far, is there? I'd have to say they're the best team in the NFL through the first half of the year.
The shadow's starting to get a bit longer. Week 10 of the NFL season is here, and we're underway on EA Sports.
That's it, baby.
So here comes the Packers offense now onto the field. And leading them out there, their 6'5" quarterback.
It's pretty much become the norm when we see guys come out before a game and go through the route tree with their receivers. I thought it was exciting for us to see the exact same thing happen in practice.
He's so meticulous, isn't he?
He really is, and that tells me it's not just a one-time-a-week thing. They work on it all the time, trying to hone that fine edge. They want to see if they can get in sync and stay in sync in this one.
60-or.
Now the man from UTEP, this is Aaron Jones. Give him 3 there on the first play of the game, and it's second down. And now the offensive starters for the Packers.
And I think we'll see a renewed sense of urgency out of this team this week because they have to make sure they don't waste this homestand. They had a home game last week, lost it. Now they got the second straight. They've got to take advantage of it, get a win before they head out on the road.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. Out of the shotgun, it's Jones. And he'll get about 4 across the 30 to the 32. Well, look now at the starters on the defensive side for the Lions. They were very good in the win over Dallas a week ago.
No matter what coverage was called, they were in the hip pockets of the receivers all game long. I mean, they were running the routes with them. Turned out, they were right there on every single ball thrown and came away with 5 interceptions.
Third play of this opening drive as they're looking at a 3rd and 3. They'll try and run for it with Jones. And he's going to be stopped short of a first down as they'll get to him at about the 33. Just a 2-yard pickup, and that should necessitate a call for the punt team here on 4th down. Not the start they envisioned. Looks like a 3 and out, and for a team that hasn't won a game in a while, that's tough.
And what we have to look out for and keep an eye on is the same thing that their coaches are doing, wanting to see if guys are going to get discouraged early and sag because of what's happened in the recent losing streak. Can they stay with it despite a tough first drive?
It'll be a 44-yard punt. The return goes for 8, and the Lions will take over. So here are the Lions now coming out for their opening drive. And a glance here at their quarterback standing 6'3".
And what I enjoyed watching this week when we had a chance to watch them at practice, the easy camaraderie that he has with his offense.
A lot of respect.
A lot of respect, and frankly, I thought it spilled over to the defense. The defensive guys were coming over and teasing and joking with him. You can tell they respect the heck out of him and really want to play well for him.
They're not ready for this. They still playing soccer. Y'all playing the wrong football. Two teams spell. 52. Block 52.
for the first time with Johnson. Oh, look at the juke. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. He'll get a dozen there, and the Lions have a first down.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it could be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
Ready. Rock 57. Double dog. 22-jet bomber. 22-jet bomber. Loaded. Under 10. 10. Now. Ready.
They stay on the ground on first with Johnson. Slipped one tackle, but no more as he's knocked to the deck behind the line of scrimmage. So a loss of 5, and it'll be second down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know, you know better than I, he has the ability to take over a game. So what do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, there's nothing but room to run.
To throw on second down, Hartman. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. Kenny Galladay is intended receiver, but now it'll be third down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL, so when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
Now, I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
A pickup of 24 on the third down conversion.
They really love to get him into one-on-one opportunities, and this is one way. Work him out of the slot and create a mismatch. Who's going to cover him? Corner, safety, linebacker? He's got a way to beat all of those positions.
Back to throw. Hartman. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on second down. Boy, the evolution of the game and how these guys on plays like that can get out of the pocket, keep plays alive, it just makes things so much harder for defenses.
It really does, and we're talking about an era in the game where the quarterbacks are the most athletically gifted that we've seen in a bunch. I mean, when you talk about collectively, it's unbelievable. So their ability to move is practiced now. It's not necessarily, oh, he just took off and you guys figure it out. When he takes off, everyone knows where to go now. They know how to run routes, change things, make themselves presentable for the quarterback. It's a lot of time that they put in on it. It's not just your static.
And he takes this one in for a Lions touchdown. Kenny Galladay, his 11th touchdown of the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. One of the keys to their long winning streak has been scoring first. An ideal drive right there, getting the first 6 points of the ball game.
Do you go back to our meeting with the offensive coordinator? Remember what he told us?
Absolutely.
With some teams, I script to probe in the early part of the game. Other teams, I script to attack. They've been in attack mode for these ball games and continue that in this one.
The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here. And on the first drive, 3 and out. I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
They throw right away, and that's complete out on the right side. And he gets this one just shy of the 40 to mark him down at the 39. 14 yards, good for a Packer first down. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. On the counter, here's Jones. And the ball is out. Jones got hit and lost it. And this is scooped up by the Lions. And the return here is stopped at the 35-yard line.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me, because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense.
18 Gator. Watch twist. General West. Hey, Haywood. Lee Griffin.
Following the fumble recovery, Hartman. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. He'll get a dozen there, and the Lions have a first down.
That looked like a pretty good route combination there because you've got to find a way to clear the guy running the drag, because when you do, you just put the ball on him and then let him run.
He's got some space. Now this one to his tight end out on the right side. The completion good for 3, and it's second down. Time for a look at our starters here on defense. They find themselves just a couple of spots outside of the top 10 defending the pass, number 12 in the league.
And while teams don't like to talk about it, they're pretty proud of their rankings. But this ranking is going to be put to the test today because they're going up against a top 5 passing offense in this one.
That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7.
Get ready. Chopper. Hey, echo. 52, Mike 52. Come on.
Here's a 2nd and 7. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And they'll get this down to the 10. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break.
Ready? 15 Ronnie. 15 Ronnie. Flipper. Ready.
They'll try and run. This is Johnson. And he'll get about 4 there as he takes it from the 10 down to the 6. The numbers a week ago for Johnson. 14 carries, 93 yards.
Well, he's the number 2 runner in the league, and you just know the offensive line wants to get him to number 1 because most of the good ball carriers, they take care of their linemen. Could be a gold watch in their future if he becomes a leading rusher.
To Johnson again. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down.
Partner, I know we're in a goal-to-go situation, but my goodness, think about running the ball here. Not even a thought, is it?
Defensively, they're in a prime spot.
And I think the defensive guys are probably expressing themselves to them as well. I wouldn't run it here, guys. You might want to try throwing it.
And back at the 8 now. 3rd and goal.
Hey, you.
Operating from the gun. Hartman. And that is caught. Touchdown, Detroit. T.J. Hawkinson with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Lions are able to extend their lead. No surprise there. 3rd and goal down here. That's where they're going to look for their tight end.
Yeah, you want that big guy running his routes because it doesn't matter who they cover him with. If it's another big guy, he might use his bulk against him. If it's a shorter defender, he might go over the top. Either way, you tend to find a little bit of a mismatch in that area.
Elliott good with a PAT, and it's now 14-0. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything, at least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. A minimal gain as we tick down inside of a minute remaining in the opening quarter. On 2nd down now, it's Jones. A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
Now a shot taken on third down, but it's going to wind up incomplete. That makes them now 0 for 2 here in the first quarter on third down conversions.
And now they'll look to their defense because they need them to step up so they don't fall further behind here in the early going.
First kick, 47. This one looks good as well. Returnable for Grant. We'll call that a 49-yard punt, but a net of just 39 following the 10-yard return. And possession will switch hands, first and 10.
Look at me, Zipper! Watch the ship, watch the ship! Smooth! Mike,
on first down, Hartman. He'll get this one to Galladay. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. The completion good for 3, and it's second down. The Lions with the football here to begin the second quarter as they've got it 2nd and 7. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports.
60 outlaw.
That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7.
X3, 218, chopper. 52, shoot.
Looking to throw. Hartman. Open man is Galladay, complete. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. 7 yards there and a first down. This quarterback now, only 1 pass has hit the ground for him. 10 of 11 thus far. It's first and 10.
Check 4, check 4. Hey, orbit. 52, big grip.
From the gun, Hartman. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked up by James Bradbury. And into the end zone. It's a pick 6 and a Packer touchdown. Well, we know this defense has athleticism. Spots like that prove us right.
I love the way that you spotlighted the athleticism because you and I both know the best athletes on the field, they play on defense.
I don't know. I was a kicker. You got to remember that now.
Come on, come on.
Fine. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. There he is, the man taking the snaps under center, heading out for the next possession. And he's looked pretty good. Does have the 1 interception, but 2 touchdown passes so far. Your analysis.
They'll take the offset. When you talk about throwing 2 touchdown passes, no one wants to see an interception thrown, but those things happen in the course of a ball game and over the course of a season. But throwing 2 touchdown passes, that's why the team has an advantage. That's what they're looking for more of.
He'll be hoping to make it a 3-to-1 ratio here in the second quarter. 28 yards the game there on the catch and run. Those are the kinds of plays right there that show you why he's the number 3 man in the NFL in terms of receiving yards.
Also tells you there's a full combination of what he's got going in his game. You name it, from route running to catching the football. That's why he's able to produce those types of numbers.
On first and 10, Hartman. That's complete to his tight end, Mike Gesicki. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. 17 yards on the catch and run. It's a first down.
Not only have they completed a couple on this drive, but they peeled off some pretty good chunks of yardage, too.
Absolutely. Great start. 2 nice plays in the pass game. Now can they continue to feed off that? So first and 10 now from the 30. On the ground, this is Johnson. And he'll take this inside the 30 to about the 29, maybe the 28-yard line. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Now the former 4th-round pick, it's Kalen Ballage. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. It's a gain of 10 for the Lions and a first down.
We both know it's difficult, but they've made it look effortless out there. Through the air, on the ground, they've moved the ball with relative ease.
Let's go. 18 Gator. 22 Jet Bomber. 22 Jet Bomber. He's checking. He's checking. Crash. Crash.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And he's got his man. It's caught for a Lion touchdown. Mike Gesicki, his second touchdown on the season. And the Lions are able to extend their lead.
That's almost just not right. You cover everybody, but those tight ends, they can be awfully reliable.
Very reliable. Defense just has to hate those guys.
This drives them crazy because oftentimes you can't match up with them. They have you either with size, speed, or maybe even just strength.
Elliott good on the extra point, and it's now 21-7. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Now the Packers get set to go. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
Give them 32 on the play. Obviously, they're not where they want to be right now on the scoreboard. Big plays like that, though, that'll trend them in the right direction.
Yeah, a few more like that, they'll be right back in the game. And if they can continue to do that, maybe they'll inspire their defense as well. They'll get a few stops.
Now a first down carry by Jones. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down. Another example right there how this defense really is winning the entire game at the point of attack.
Yeah, right there at the line of scrimmage because they are dominating it. It allows their interior guys to get upfield and spill them.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
That's how we do it.
Well, someone's been up to the task so far in this game. They are already up a couple of scores, Brandon, and guess what? I think they're just going to pin their ears back now and get upfield and get after the quarterback.
Been such an impressive first half to get that lead. Now Jones, and Adams has it, complete. And it's going to be another first down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 28.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
I used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this, when he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better.
Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
On second down, it's Jones. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
Even though they gave up more than they wanted to on that play, it actually illustrates how well they bottled him up throughout the game because that was his longest run of this contest.
On first down, Vaughn. He will push his way down to about the 14. There to stop him, Terrell Edmonds.
Whenever we talk about the best strong safeties, one word constantly comes up, and that's instincts. Being able to diagnose run or pass and make the appropriate moves.
He crashed down hard there, and he's not able to get away. Sacked back at the 22. K1 short with a sack. That's 315 pounds of man right there. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Throwing, Jones. He finds Taylor, complete. And he'll be out of bounds about a half to a full yard shy of the 5. It'll be a pickup of 14, but they're still a little bit short as it brings up 4th.
I think a lot of people ask the same question all the time. Why do we see so many slants in the red zone? Well, the windows are tighter. Everything's more condensed. It has to be quicker, and you've got to deliver the ball on time. Your biggest worry? Ball gets tipped in the air, because if that happens, then it's fair game for the defense.
That drive took him inside the 10. Good job defensively to hold him to 3.
Yeah, I like how you did that. Give a little tip of the cap to the stop troops there, because they didn't give up a touchdown in that situation, right? Made them kick the field goal. And, yeah, points went against them, but that feels a whole lot better running off the field.
And this return net's positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. Here again comes the captain of this offense, leading his crew back out there now. He does have the 1 interception, Charles, but I think that's been more than offset by the 3 first-half touchdown passes.
I would agree with you. There is a blemish, but when you've thrown 3 touchdown passes to try and erase it, that's a little bit better than the ratio that all NFL coaches are seeking from their quarterbacks, and he's giving it to them.
They'll take the 3-1?
Every single time.
11 yards there and a Lion first down.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Here's a quick hitch route and the throw complete. He'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. The catch and run there, good for 16 and a first.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
Here we go.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Operating from the gun. Hartman. Open man, he's got him. The tight end, Hawkinson. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players. Somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athletics.
And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. Kenny Golladay. His 2nd touchdown of the game, giving him 12 on the season. And the Lions are able to extend their lead. He's having a nice little first half here, partner.
And it's a first half that leaves us anticipating what can still come. I mean, 2 touchdowns already here through the 2nd quarter. There could be plenty more before this game is over.
Just a 4-play drive that time. And it's capped off by a touchdown for the Lions. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is taken at the 3. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. The Packers offense now. They get ready to head back onto the field. And you're under a minute to go in the half, a first half that hasn't been particularly kind to you. How do you think they'll play this?
Well, I think the smart approach is to run out the clock, lick your wounds at the half, and see if you can come up with a strategy to play better in the 2nd. But there's also something to challenging your offense right here. You know, hey, guys, you help dig this hole. See if you can get us out of it a little bit before the half runs out. Let's go make some plays.
That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. They'll find Taylor. That's complete. Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the 2nd of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. From the gun on 3rd down, Jones. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. Now Jones. From the gun, he'll throw. Making the catch is Sternberger. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. Give him 15 there, and the Packers have a first. Jones heading up here 1st and 10. And he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. So on is Jason Myers. He's hit from as long as 58 in his career. And this will be spotted on the other side of the field. It's a 61-yard attempt. That's running out of steam, and it won't get there. He left it just short. No good. And this score will stay right where it is.
And this is one of the risks you run when you attempt a long field goal. If you miss, the defense takes over at the spot of the placement. So now they've got a chance to get one more drive in before halftime.
A final shot before break. Hartman, screenplay, Johnson. And some room to work. The 20. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. So that would have been something from that distance, but to no avail. Comes up empty as we have reached the intermission. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thank you very much. More from you.
All right, hang on. We'll jump over halftime. The Lions in the lead, and they're going to get the football first as well as the second half is underway. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Kenny Golladay making his way back.
Love the fact that they're going to play this game earlier. You know, daytime, he's out there running around.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
I got one.
They stay on the ground. This time it's Hill. They got 2 of the 3 they needed there. Leaves them with third and just a yard.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. And this is going to result in another first down as the tackle's made at the Packers' 32-yard line. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense.
Balaj. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. It's a gain of 14 and a first down for Detroit. They've got the lead early here in the third quarter, and runs like that are how they establish that lead in the first half.
I love the fact that you're using the word lead because they are leading from the front, pounding on the defense right now with the running game, and truly establishing themselves here in the second half.
He's coming, double up. Check. Check out. Ready.
They run it with Balaj. And he'll get this one down to about the 17. Kenny Clark, the big D tackle there to make the stop.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. Eluding the pressure right. And that is caught. Touchdown, Detroit. From 17 yards out. And the Lions are able to extend their lead.
He was able to move around and found some vision to throw the football. And how about how he ended it? Boy, he had some zip on that throw.
Yeah, it doesn't hurt to have an arm like that. Results in the touchdown here. Great play offensively. Elliott good with a PAT. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take this across the 25. A couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Here's the Packers offense now getting set to start off this third quarter. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams...
Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 48, and his guys are going to take over at their own 48-yard line.
But this is a defense that can confuse even the best of quarterbacks with their zone schemes. And here you've got a linebacker that's going to stay at home and just sit down in that zone. And this one basically comes right to him.
So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10. Just shy of midfield at the 48. A little bit of space there for the first down run, as that's going to get him about 5 yards.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Hard.
They'll run here with Balaj. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Johnson on the counter. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. Throw left side, taken in by Galladay. That one goes for 36 yards.
Just more of the same there, partner. Guys have just been running free in the secondary this entire game. No pass rush, a lot of passes completed. Been an easy day for them.
The 3 red zone trips, 3 touchdowns so far. They'll look for a 4th on 2nd and goal. Back to throw. Hartman. Now they go screen. It's complete. And he goes backwards on this one. Losing yardage to the 7.
You know what the key to a good screen pass is, don't you?
Bet you're going to tell me. Good blocking?
Well, good blocking eventually. But first is good acting. You want to let the defenders go past you, leak out to whichever side or even in the middle where you want to set up the screen, and then you do your blocking. How about the read, though, by the defensive guys? They weren't fooled at all and actually ran with the lineman to where the play was and smothered it for a loss of yardage.
Defensively, I think they can smell a stop ball right around the 5 here, brings up 3rd.
And I think what they've done is they put doubt in the minds of the offensive guys. What do we do? Because now you don't have a go-to play. Either side they pick, throwing it, running it, it won't be easy.
Mike 52, strip the ball. Strip that ball. Hey, seam 6.
They'll look to throw on 3rd and goal. Escaping the pressure right. Galladay's got it, and the Lions have a touchdown. A 5-yard touchdown catch as his guys continue to put this one out of reach.
And this is obviously quite a performance, and most of the time when we talk about someone putting a team on their back, I think we're talking about a guy who runs the football. In this case, it's a guy out wide catching it, and he's done exactly that, truly leading his team right now towards victory.
3 touchdown catches. He's been the headliner. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. The Packer offense now ready to get back onto the field. They are right now just ice cold. I mean, they have struggled big time in this game, and they're getting blown out. How do they adjust?
So tough because we always talk about it being a team game, and you need all 11 working well together. But every now and then, partner, You need that one guy who can make a play against all odds that maybe can ignite things. And I think that's what they're looking for right now.
Yeah, you talk about going to your playmakers. They probably need to do it.
Find someone that you're used to touching the football that makes big plays and give them that opportunity to maybe wake up everyone else.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's a perfect word for it, precise, because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
Trying to fit it into Moore, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Joe Williams. And the return this time will go out to the 42-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
Throwing on first down. Hartman. Oh, a battle for it here, and this will be caught. That'll be marked as a 27-yard pickup.
Here we go. 10 Lobo. 6'6", bullet high. Smell fear in that offense. Jim, shoot.
A first down carry here for Johnson. And he's going to get it inside the 10 to the 7-yard line. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
He hadn't had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. Hill going to try the right side. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. Justice Hill, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And thanks to the interception, the Lions offense cashes in with 6.
Offensive line coaches always tell their guys, if we score touchdowns, that means we got to the end zone first. That's exactly what those blockers did, clearing the way for their back.
Elliott good on the extra point, and that will extend this big lead. Scoring summary, 3-play drive. And the end result was the touchdown run by Justice Hill. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point.
It's our time. It's our time, guys. It's our time. Save.
And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the third. Quarter has come to a close. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports.
Hey, let's calm down. Hey, let's go. Let's calm the crowd. I got one.
On 2nd and 9, Jones, and that's complete to Adams. They'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for 3rd down. Hard to believe his first catch of the game defensively. They bottled him up. That's why they're well on their way to victory.
Put your best cover guy on him and then change the coverages behind him throughout the game. Brackets, double, zone, man, you name it. Make sure he gets a lot of angles.
Give him 10 there. Good enough for a Packer first down.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver try to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Jones operating from the gun. Over the middle, complete. It's Robertson. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6.
Hey, Mike 51, Mike 51. I'm not ready.
2nd and 6. He gets this into the hands of Taylor. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. And it's going to be another 1st down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 27-yard line. Jones now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Jones. It's caught here by Adams. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, a sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. A good run on 1st down, and now they contemplate a 2nd and goal situation. Good yardage on 1st down. Now can they punch it in on 2nd and goal? They'll try and run it in with Jones. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Green Bay touchdown. Aaron Jones, his 4th touchdown on the year. And his guys are able to at least knock this deficit down a bit.
And that touchdown, well, it barely puts a dent in this lead. And unfortunately, I'm having too many flashbacks right now. I remember getting beat down like this playing before.
Oh, yeah? College, high school?
College. Not a heck of a lot of fun. I still remember playing and trying to tackle an elusive tailback who ended up scoring 4 touchdowns, 226 yards. He scored so many times and had so many great runs, I knew every note to their school's fight song.
I bet that ice bath felt extra cold afterwards, too.
Oh, no. There was no ice bath. You're just trying to get out of there before the reporters got to you.
This one fielded at the 5. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big, big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense.
Oh, he knocks him over. And he takes it all the way down to the 28-yard line. It's a big play there for the Lions. 41 yards on the ground. One of the reasons that this team is on this win streak, big runs like that.
When you see runs like that broken off, you know this is a team that's confident running the football. A big reason why this streak has occurred, they've come together, had a plan, and stuck to it. And when you get big-time runs like that, makes it easier to stay with it, doesn't it?
And he'll get about 4 as he's brought down at the 24.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they won't put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Now Balaj. And he'll be taken down near the 20 at the 21. 3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on 3rd down? In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. Back to throw. Hartman. He's got his man, T.J. Hockenson. And he takes this one in for a Lions touchdown. T.J. Hockenson. His 2nd touchdown of the game and his 9th on the year as his guys continue to pour it on. And, my friend, I think it's safe to say that this game is pretty much deceased at this point. It's taken a knee, so to speak.
It is definitely this victory formation. Take the snap, take the knee, call it a night, call it a game, call it whatever. I agree with you totally. I don't think there's much left to get except for those who want to run up the score.
I knew this was over about a minute ago when you took your stat sheet and just flipped it over your shoulder in the trash can.
Yeah, that's similar to the guys cutting tape off right before the game's over. We know this thing's done.
Hey, let's calm down. Hey, let's go. Let's calm the crowd.
Here's Jones on 1st and 10. He completes it to Jones. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. Looking to throw. Jones throwing middle, but it's incomplete. Devontae Adams, the intended receiver. And now it's 3rd down. The Packers on 3rd down. 3 for 7 so far in this game. This is 3rd and 7. Jones now. From the gun, he'll throw. Jones has it. Call it a gain of 3. And that's going to make it 4th down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
So possession goes over here on the punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. Kenny Golladay making his way back onto the field with the rest of this offense. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this, but it's usually not by himself, is it? Right. Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
Preston Smith there on the stop. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. Last play, they got stuffed at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Lions in possession of the football as we welcome you back. And they have just about put this one on ice as they've got it here, 1st and 10. They try to run on 1st down, but this defense says no dice. They stop them a couple yards behind the line of scrimmage. When this offense gathers to watch the tape, they're going to like a lot of what they saw. They put up big numbers, but they might fast forward through that last play.
Oh, there won't be any fast forwarding, partner. I've sat in those sessions before. You end up spending more time on the bad plays than you do on the good ones. It's just the nature of coaches. But I know sitting in that room, when you've had a big game, the night that they've had, you don't want to hear that. You just want to focus on the good stuff.
It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. A couple of plays sent them the wrong way, and now they face a 3rd and 14. From the gun, Partner. Flushed out right. Catch is made by Hockenson, the tight end. And to the 46 he goes and no further, so he is well short of the 1st down marker. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. And I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the 1st down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Yeah, and being rightly cautious with that lead here in the 2nd half. Elsewhere, they're into the 4th at Lucas Oil Stadium in Indianapolis. And it was the Colts emerging victorious. Jacoby Brissett, he was the story there with 4 touchdown passes. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for Detroit, the train just keeps rolling 9-0 now to start this campaign. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for Green Bay, the turnaround hasn't materialized as they fall to 2-7. And they'll